Hello and welcome to BizRun. This video will show you how to use BizRun's Group Proxy feature. There are many ways to use this feature. It has been designed to be flexible to fit your organization's workflow needs. One way of using the Group Proxy feature is to designate a specific person who is part of a group who may or may not be a supervisor or be in the same part of the organization to approve a transaction like update compensation. Being part of a group, this person wouldn't even need to have a particular administrator role in BizRun in order to approve this transaction request. For this demonstration, we have multiple characters in play in this fictional company. The system administrator and initiator will be Kelly, who we will be primarily logged in as. The department heads are Michael, Sylvester, Callie, and Michelle. Michelle heads up the finance department. Michael heads up the operations department. There are two supervisors that report into the operations department. The supervisors of the operations department are Tyler and Arista. The target for this demonstration will be Mark, an existing employee who will be undergoing a pay change. In this example, we're going to have a transaction initiated that would require approval from a person in a group. The transaction we will use is update compensation for Mark, who is an existing employee in this fictional company. Let's go over the setup, logged in as a system administrator. Step 1. Create the group. First, we need to create a group called Finance Group. We do this by going to Settings, Groups, click the Add Group icon, and type in the desired group name, then click Submit. Then we need to add members to the group. We'll click the group to expand, type in the search box Michelle, the head of finance, then click Add User. Step 2. Workflow settings for update compensation. Go to Settings, Workflow, Update compensation. And for more information on workflow, check out our video called Workflow. Let's focus in on the Require Group Approval setting. Click the drop-down list, then select Finance Group. What this means is, rather than requiring approval from one or more supervisors, a compensation administrator, or system administrator, this transaction will require approval from someone else in the finance group. If you recall, from step 1, we created this group to include Michelle from finance. This group could have contained one or multiple people. By selecting this group to approve, we are essentially creating a custom role that gives this group of people the authority to approve this specific transaction, similar to the authority a supervisor or an administrator has in approving transactions. Also, like Michelle in this example, the members of this group wouldn't even need to be in the same part of the organization to approve the update compensation transaction. Step 3. Specify the group proxy for Michael's department. Furthermore, if you want to specify a group proxy or specific person who is part of a group to approve a transaction for a specific area or department of an organization, you can do this by going to the department head's profile, Michael, click the position gear on the green ribbon, then Group Proxy, click Add New. For Group, select from the drop-down Finance Group. For Proxy Person, select Michelle. What this means is, Michelle would be required to approve any requests for update compensation made for people in Michael's group. To see this work, go to Mark's profile, Person Gear, then Update Compensation. For more information on how to complete this form, check out our video called Update Compensation. Let's scroll down to focus on the approvers list. Notice, Michelle is listed as the only approver, per the workflow settings. To describe how this works, let's go back to the org chart to help you visualize what happened. Since group approval was required for the update compensation transaction, once initiated, BizRun will go up the org chart from the target until it finds the first group proxy. then specify that person as the approver. In this case, the target was Mark. If we go up the org, we would first come to Tyler. Since Tyler doesn't have any group proxy specified, we continue up to Michael. Michael has a group proxy specified, who is Michelle. Therefore, Michelle was automatically selected as the approver for Mark's update compensation request. Now, you might ask, who would approve requests to update compensation for everyone else in the company outside of Michael's group? Since no other group proxies were specified to cover the other departments of the company, the approver would default to the supervisor one level up from the target. So as an example of this, if we initiate an update compensation for Hilda, Callie would be designated as the approver. And finally, you might ask, what if you want someone else higher up in the organization to approve as opposed to the supervisor one level above the target? For instance, rather than requiring Callie to approve Hilda's compensation request, you would like Heather to approve. You could do this by simply going to Heather's profile, click the position gear on the green ribbon, then Group Proxy, click Add New. For Group, select from the drop-down Finance Group. For Proxy Person, don't specify this. In other words, leave this blank. What this means is Heather would be required to approve any requests for update compensation made for all the people in the company except for people in Michael's department. Michelle would still approve the request for Michael's department, but Heather now would approve the request for everyone else. In other words, if you don't specify a specific person for the group proxy, the approver would default to the person you added the group proxy to, in this case, Heather. This would be considered a catch-all. And that's how transactions can require approval from one or more employees using the Group Proxy feature in BizRun. Hope this helps. Thank you for watching.